Why must I be inconvenienced? You know, the other day I was just reflecting on life, thinking about everything that's going on between school, work, and every other responsibility. And I had like an epiphany. Wouldn't everything be so much easier if things would just go your way? I know, revolutionary thought, never been thunk before, but it just made me wonder. Are things becoming more inconvenient, or are inconveniences being more magnified? BuzzFeed published an article in February of this year that listed a total of 19 minor inconveniences. This list was compiled by a staff member who selected user-submitted answers to the age-old question, why do I still have to deal with such struggle? The list ranged from the placement of electrical outlets and printer issues to cereal packaging and bike lanes. And another online post, user question asking prof got on r/TrueAskReddit and asked that same question. What modern day annoyance or problem needs a 21st century solution? The answers were roughly the same, from issues with cords to the tediousness of drying off after the shower. Someone even brought up brushing their teeth. But then the question again is, why do we perceive them as inconveniences? After such a long search for answers on highly reputable sites, I eventually found my answer on YouTube, the most reputable site of all time. And definitely not one where most influencer conflict takes place. The video I found this video discusses some very specific examples of mild inconveniences backed with scientific research. For example, the YouTuber analyzes the concept of expectation versus experience when eating food, and how, when expectations are left unmet, negative experiences are had. The video carries on roughly the same, taking different instances and explaining them. Still, after reviewing the video, I still didn't feel that it truly answered my query, though I do think I stumbled upon an answer of my own. Every time I looked up an answer to why people deal with mild frustrations, every single result was related to the concept of emotional dysregulation or overreaction. Even when I swapped words around, the results were always the same: people trying and failing to cope with frustration. An article I found by Alea Cooks Campbell discusses low frustration tolerance, a component of emotional regulation. According to Cooks Campbell, frustration intolerance is rooted in the inability to cope with discomfort, a skill thought to be developed in childhood. She goes over some side effects of low frustration tolerance, or LFT, and discusses how to strengthen tolerance skills. Honestly, I don't think that there will ever be a succinct answer to my question. However, this kind of opened my eyes. I went into this thinking that the obvious answer was that inconveniences are being magnified, widely due to the comfort of most of our lifestyles. Though I do think that is true, especially within the first two articles from BuzzFeed and Reddit. Mostly, though, I chalked it up to laziness. Then I found the YouTube video, which I thought would contain all the answers to my questions because it focused on more scientifically based evidence. Nonetheless, I still searched, specifically because I was unsatisfied and felt that nothing was answering my question. Why are we annoyed by less convenient circumstances like cereal packaging or electrical cords? Is there a scientifically backed reason that we get annoyed at those specific instances, like there is for why the sound of forks hitting our teeth hurts, or why we forget why we walked into a room? Then I just got a lot of people ranting and having mental breakdowns over those same minor inconveniences I chalked up to laziness. Conclusively, I think the root cause of mild inconvenience is a result of a combination of pampering, laziness, and a lack of emotional regulation. Mild inconveniences will, unfortunately, always exist. The solution to dealing with them lies in the way that we respond and react. That reaction is what decides whether or not they are hindrances to our daily life experiences.